Good afternoon. Welcome to the first in this new series that I'm playing with for 2026. I've been calling them color stories in my head because that's kind of where my inspiration is coming from. Now, before I actually get started on this page, I wanted to show you the things that I had gathered. All of these references from the Villa of the Mysteries, Elizabeth I, Alchemists, Cinnabar, these all relate to the pigments. And I'm going to talk about more once I'm working on the page. I'm going to shoot this in a time lapse, which is totally new for me. I'm playing around with this new format, but then I'll go ahead and tell you some of these amazing facts and this interesting color stories when I edit the video. So I've pulled in other things that I'm going to attempt to draw. This nopal cactus, the cochineal insects, the good fortune envelopes. I have another pile of things that are going to be on the second spread, and these are more pop culture references and things that I associate with the color red, so we'll come back to that another day. I want to have room to have these elements collaged in the page. These are the ones, well, this I think I'll draw. These are the ones that I'm going to collage in, other things that I'll draw in. I have my book of notes, more on that later. I want to have some room for blocks of text with some of the info in here with the images. And I have a huge stack of red, but also some, black and white. Wine, maroon. Oh, this is good. This is from an old vintage book. So I have all this stuff, and I have two spreads with the color red to work with, and I'm not sure where I want to start. Do I want to start collaging them in and then drawing? Do I want to start with a scrap paper collage and then collaging in my images? Do I want to block in my blocks for text first? So I have all year to work with this format, and I'm thinking every spread is going to be a little bit different, but it's really hard to jump in and start. Because there are so many options and so many possibilities, I kind of am having trouble getting out of my own way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video, and I'm going to put on a video for myself to watch so that I have a little something to distract me. I might make an afternoon cup of coffee, and then I'm going to dive in. So I don't know what's going to happen. But future me will edit this and give you a voiceover and kind of break down how it goes. Focusing on the color red, do I want to swatch in some different materials? Do I want to do fancy lettering for the name of the color? Again, I've got all year to play with this, and if my popcorn brain with all these ideas popping up left and right is any indication, it should be a juicy topic that I enjoy working with in these weekly sparks. But enough for now. Before I switch to time lapse, before I go make afternoon coffee, and I've got, I will say I would love to have you subscribe to the channel to see more of my art journaling content. I would love to have thumbs up, and I especially love comments. I try to respond to many of them. So let me know that you're out there, that I'm not creating alone in my studio with my relatively quiet dog, which is a refreshing change. So yeah, subscribe, give this video a like, stay tuned for the juicy bits that are about to come up. But yeah, let's get this color story started. Well, best laid plans. I thought I was filming this in time lapse, and as evidenced by the fact that you didn't see the time lapse, we know that that didn't work. Now I'm going to try it again because I do think in concept that's going to be wonderful. I think it was user error, meaning me. So what I decided to do was break up the text boxes into these different zones. There are multiple kinds of red that I want to talk about, and I have some of the different names listed here. Kermes is one for sure. Vermilion is one. Cochineal. And then just some other names of different reds. I've put in some placeholder sketches where I am going to draw some things. And I've put in my text blocks. I am going to do a watercolor wash in the backgrounds of these text blocks, and I'm going to do different varying shades of red. And then once those are done, I will write my notes in over top. I did this water-soluble crayon over top of this calligraphy tip pen, and the pen smeared a little bit, so I wasn't happy with that. I want to avoid that happening again. I'll make sure to do my backgrounds before I add my text. And if definitely things that I want to still draw in. So I'd paused to go make myself that afternoon cup of coffee. My husband made me a beautiful espresso, so I'm ready to begin the next segment. I'm glad that I checked and saw that my time lapse was, a fail. This pile of all my reds, different collage papers, I'm saving because one of the other things that I want to do this month with this theme is do a small 5x8 collage and then open that up as a giveaway. So stay tuned for that because that's going to be coming on a future weekly Spark. For right now, I'm going to draw in some more of my things. I'm going to do my watercolor washes and continue to develop this page in my Color Stories journal. Well, thoughts. The spread is not done, for sure. This book that I had, it's a Strathmore, it's a mixed media book. And I bought it when I wasn't using watercolor as much. I was doing a lot more colored pencil. And the pages really do not like to take watercolor. So that is probably going to influence these stories, color stories, as I move forward. It's fine, but, you know, kind of patchy, kind of not great. So what I did like was doing the watercolor base coat and then going back in with colored pencil. That gave me a little more depth. That was kind of satisfying. I don't love the plain colored pencil in the background here. Meh. One thing I'll probably try in a future month is my water-soluble colored pencils, because then I can lay down colored pencil like this and blend it a little bit with a brush. Hopefully that won't be too wet, and hopefully the page will take that okay. Now, obviously, I have all my text that I want to put in here, so I will continue to do that, but I wanted to cobble together the different segments of time-lapse and present this to you in some fashion. I'll probably pop on with a short when I have everything finished, but you don't need to watch me write in the text. I'm glad that I just dove in and got it started. I think it's going to be a really fun book to do over the course of the year, and I have another red spread that I will work on, so stay tuned for that in the future. But for right now, I'm going to leave you with this. The color stories are going to be a mix of drawing and painting and collage and history and diving down a rabbit hole about pigments and the like. So hopefully, what did you like about this? Did you like the history and the nerd facts? Did you like the watching the techniques happen? I would love to hear your comments below, but definitely come back next week for another episode of Weekly Spark. And thank you for staying tuned in to the end through my technical difficulties. Have a good week.